go, pump it, give me some more. Work that body, move your feet to the beat, don't stop, just work. Run, go, pump it, give me some more. Work that body, move your feet to the beat, don't stop, just work. Give me the work, 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 give me the work like a 9 to 5. Give me the run, give me the work, give me the work, give me some more. Give me the work, that body, move your feet to the beat, don't stop, just work that body, that body, body, that body, 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 work that body, 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 don't stop, make it drop, drop, make it drop, 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 make it drop, make it drop, 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 make it drop, 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 make it drop, make it stop, make it drop, drop, make it drop, 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 make it drop, make it drop, 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 make it drop, 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 make it drop, make it drop, make it drop, that drop, make it drop, that drop, drop, that drop, make it drop, that drop, drop, that drop, make it drop, that drop, drop, that drop, make it.
Shit, I used the wrong screen. This is what happens. It's always a scuff stream. Hey Zivia. How's it going? Actually, let me X out of the program real quick. I gotta X out the program real quick. Give me a minute. Because I forgot to plug in my tablet, and if I plug in the tablet after I open the program. See, this is what happens when you try to get over-prepared. But how's it going? What's up, chat? Long time no see. I did update the name. I updated the name of the stream. It was just I started on the wrong screen, but it's fine. What's up, chat? It's been a bit, and by a bit, it was literally last week. Did I even stream last week? Disassociating. Oh, for the shout out. Oh, because I got the wrong. Oh my god. I keep updating it, and then I keep getting something wrong. I'm gonna cry. It's fine. But, it's fine. We'll live. So, guys, as you can see, yay! Thank you for the head pad. Today, we are working on a VTuber, which is Zivia, who is talking in here. And what I hope to accomplish by the end of this stream in roughly 2 hours is to actually finish making the base. Yeah, actually making the base and stuff. So we're gonna have, you know, the line work done, and the colors and stuff. And we're gonna have a good day. But how's everybody's week so far? I didn't get to update Clip Studio Paint. I'll update it after this. It's fine. I kind of don't need the upgrade right now. Today I did not go to class because holy shit, am I tired. I'm tired. I've been eepy. Now this will be the last day that I like skip class because I need to fucking go to class. Because I aspire to get better grades this semester. They're not bad, but they could be better. Half-ass, yeah. It's been that kind of day. That semi-do-nothing day. I'm literally doing homework on the... after the last minute. Okay. Go ahead and finalize those markings. And if you don't, just give me them anytime this week. It's like the hardest part is getting the base body details. Because like... how I do these PNG models, or at least how I did mine, is that I made a base body that's bald and shit. So that I can be able to switch outfits and hair whenever. Well, I guess while I'm in here, I could test stuff out. Like, tell me what options you're thinking for the forehead. Mostly crescent and a 4-point star, whether together or one or the other, is what's been tripping me. Okay, then I'll try each one when I finish the base of the face. No, it's okay. Cause shit, I'm not even look at this. We got an event literally next week, and I'm still not done with your model because of life and stuff. Like life has been going on. Life has been crazy lately. We'll get through it. It'll be fine. But we'll be fine. I believe in us. Okay. Give me just a minute. And then the reason why I'm doing, like, I'm gonna do your eyes and, the reason why I'm doing, like, your eyes open and closed is so that you could be able to hook this up to Vtube. Because Vtube, like, technically, Fujitech is the simplest PNG PNG program, but Vtube is a little bit more dynamic because you could use toggles for outfits and stuff with a PNG. So it'll be a lot more dynamic. It'll be fine. God damn it. Hold on. I gotta look at my own file. I cry. It's tough to be a gangster. Da 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 da. Cause just the glasses. Eyes. Okay. Still line art head. That's mouth. Eyes. There it is. Okay, so that's how I did the eyes. Cause I was like, something was weird. Okay. But yeah, whenever it's something that I've done personally for myself that I'm doing for another person, like I regularly reference my old work in order to do stuff for others because I'm like, because it helps to streamline the process a bit. Because if I have a completely different method every time I made something, I don't know, I would go crazy. I would have a hard time. You're probably the first wolf tuber that actually has your ears extend all the way down. Because my methods are unorthodox. Oh, you're not the first one with visible fur. I've seen a few. I can't remember, but I've seen a few. The line should be thinner. Hold on. Oh my god, I'm so tired of my neighbors. I need my neighbors to, like, break an ankle. Like, I don't want them to be permanently injured, but, like, I need them to hurt because I'm so fucking tired. There's, like, this one dude upstairs who really sucks at video games because every time I hear him, he's, like, raging over something. And this isn't to say that you can't necessarily rage at others and stuff, but it's just, like, if he's raging all the damn time, he probably sucks. I'm sorry. Like, nigga, the problem is you. Put the game down. I'm tired of him. Exactly. And it be at all hours of the day. Like, sometimes I manage to get home early. Sometimes I manage to get home early, and here he is playing video games at like 12 o'clock. And he's raging, and it's like, shut up. Like, I'm so tired of them. There would be times where they would just be jumping up and down and stuff, and it's just like, why? Like, why are you like this? These are guidelines, because when I actually draw the mouth, when I actually, like, color the mouth. When I actually colored the mouth, I actually, like, colored the lips. I don't use, like, lines for that. Yeah. Was it a night at ID? Yeah, semari kuru. Hit the door. Magical words groovy. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. But what was I thinking? But yeah, he's the problem. Like, shut up. Speaking of shut up and being the problem, I know that everybody and their mom more or less knows about the beef that's been going on between Nikki and Megan. Cause I actually want to talk about that. Cause I wonder if this will be the year where we finally see the downfall of that woman, because I'm tired of her. I gotta look at my PNG file again to see how I drew bows. But like, oh my god, I'm tired of that woman. And like the thing about Nicki Minaj, I kind of got out of her. Like I stopped being into her stuff when hold on. I stopped being into her stuff when she switched entirely to rap because like I was more of a pop girly growing up. Okay, that's mouths. Wait, no, that was color. Line art. Face. Like, this is how many layers that goes into... Okay. But that's how I did my fangs and mouth. You want the mouth wider open, or is this fine? Because I know you talk about having a small mouth sometimes. Cuatro, cinco, seis, okay. Oh, Twitch had a stroke. What I was asking was, would you want the mouth like wider open? Because I know that sometimes you've talked about having a smaller mouth. Because this is what it'll look like open, right? Honestly, I should... Okay, gotcha. Okay. So this, then this. Okay. Gotcha. So we got both mouths. And then I have not drawn the fluff yet. I gotta find that picture again. I know where it is. I just gotta find it again. Okay. But no, what was I saying before? Oh yeah, the beef between Nicki and Megan is terrible, and I am waiting for Nicki Minaj's downfall because I'm tired of her. I stopped being into her music when she switched fully to rap because I was more of a pop girly. But I was still supportive because like she had bars. It was just really the instrumentals that I wasn't all that into. I'm looking for that reference. But then after finding out stuff, um okay. Okay. I'm pretty much drawing out the general area where it is. Okay. I'm gonna Okay. So you're overdue for a wee twist. Actually, does this look okay? Okay. Yeah, that is overdue. Oh, so how does this look? Hey, PJ. Make it a little bit wider. Okay. How's it going, PJ? Long time no see. I'm doing good. Right now, I'm designing a VTuber, which is Zivia. And I was also talking about the recent rapper beef that's been going on with Megan and Nicki Minaj, and then I keep forgetting what I'm gonna say mid thought. So how's this? Because what was I saying? I was into Nicki when she was a pop girly. I respected her journey to full rap though, because she did have bars. It was just it was just the beats and the subject matter, because I didn't quite care as much. But then as time moved forward, with finding out more BS about her, I just no. I couldn't even respect from a distance. I just stopped respecting. Okay, so make the fur bit a little bit wider. And then I'll try to extend the top a little bit. Like what I'm trying to do is probably... Also, thank you. But like, yeah, it had gotten to a point where I couldn't even respect from a distance, because I was just hearing too much stuff that was getting out of hand with like her support of certain types of people and stuff. And then hearing about Tasha Cobbs like collaborating with her still, even after all of this BS. Like, I'm tired of church people. Because, like, for those who don't know, Tasha Cobbs is a pretty big modern gospel music singer. And she's collaborated with Nicki Minaj twice. Because, and it was actually very controversial because, like, some other church people were like, how can you have Nicki Minaj collaborate knowing the kind of music that she makes? And I'm like, that's the least of the problem. Why are you collaborating with a sex offender apologist? That's the real question. Sometimes the church needs to fucking say no. Like, you know that one phrase, made the church say yeah. The church needs to say no. And then how Tasha Cobbs was on, like, and what pisses me off about Nicki and her behavior, how she keeps invoking the name of God and stuff, like when God is for you, can't nobody be against you, because that's an actual scripture. And it's just like, he has left you a long time ago. That's why you're struggling so much financially. Oh, like widen it to the base of the neck. Okay. Like, you should not... Like, I hate it whenever people invoke spiritual figures when they're full of BS, because it's just like, you know damn well that you have effectively been abandoned because of your behavior. This isn't to say that Nicki is no longer a child of God, but like, she is obviously struggling the consequences of her actions because of the... Actually, I don't think that I should do it right under the neck like how I did, because it doesn't quite look right. It bothers me. Like, maybe if I... Yeah, I was trying to experiment, but it was not working. Wrong thing. It's not working. But, yeah, don't be invoking the names of powerful spirits when you know that you're full of bullshit. Don't do that. Especially with how she's trying to provoke the dead because she keeps bringing up Megan's mom. Like, are you fucking for real? And now the cemetery that that houses Megan's parents, they've already contacted the authorities and they've increased security because their fucking stands have openly admitted to wanting to desecrate the grave. Like, oh my god. Like, I hope that that woman falls, and I hope that her kids end up being in good hands, because doesn't she have 2 sons now? Does she have 1 or 2 kids? She has a new baby. And then I'm gonna add hair to your arms, like, because you said that you wanted the fluff on your arms. There was a... I just gotta find that one reference. Remember that one thing? You know that one thing that I saw and I wanted to use it for Ty? It was somebody's concept of a cat girl. Like, it's been a long time. But, like, I wanted to, like, blend body hair into the arm fur in order to have, like, a natural transition to it. I just gotta find it. There it is. I found it. Essentially, okay. So I'm gonna... Okay, so there's that. And then with arm fluff... And then I'm doing it into another color so I can see how to do it. Because, like, okay, the way that I saw it with this one art piece on Twitter, what they did was that the hair was, like, thinner around here, but then it, like, comes out sort of like this. And then it would be, like, smoother... Like, it'll still be there. And I'm like, it looks hella rough right now because I'm, like, sketching it out. So sort of like this. To crudely sketch it out before I refine it. Thing is, how long should I make it? It's confined to the wrists, right? Gets a little wind out. Like, how big was it? Or how big is this supposed to be? Okay, gotcha. So I'm going to make it shorter. Then I do like the proportions of this. Like, I've done a pretty good job. And then after that, I'll do the claws. Actually, no, I'll do the claws when I color it, because usually whenever I do nails, I draw them out and then I put a border effect on them. Because that makes doing a design a lot easier. So, give me just a moment. Because I'm also eating and stuff. But no, my opinion on the thing is that the whole feud, of course, is a mess because it's a feud, and it's a feud. But like with that combined with stan culture, it's just like holy shit. Okay, so the way that I need to do it, when it comes to arm hair, it starts at the hands, like at the base of the hands near the middle. I need a body hair brush. Like, it's gotten so bad that Megan, what's her last name? Cunnif? It starts with a K. Her dad decided to get involved and stuff. Okay, Clip Studio, log me in. Log me in. Now it's loading. Give me a moment. I'm gonna cry. I almost forgot to open my Twitter dashboard so I can be able to look in chat whenever I'm in another tab looking for things. Give me a moment. But he ended up getting involved because he said that he didn't like the name of his daughter being invoked that way. And to be honest, like, some people are being very insensitive about it because, like, yes, this is a very sensitive subject, because like the whole thing that started this feud in the first place was Megan Thee Stallion launching a diss track called Hiss towards all of her haters and her opponents. And see if I can find that specific brush. Is this it? Give me a minute. Okay, I'm re-downloading it because I don't remember downloading it. Actually, no, I do remember downloading it. Like, I remember what I used it for because I drew a commission for Basil, and then I never used it ever again. I cry. But no, with the newest with the newest diss track, it was called Hiss because Megan is in her snake phase. We're so back. We're bringing back weird, real entertainment because now artists are going through phases. Or, well, no, not a phase. It's an era. She's in her snake era. And I'm like, good for her. Let's see. I'm trying to find my materials. Where the hell is it, though? That's the question. Let me find it. I got my damn cum brush, but I can't find... Oh, there it is. Oh, so I did sort it. I should also have another organization stream. I got a couple of cum brushes. I downloaded them at like the end of the... I'll check DMs. I downloaded them at like the end of the year because I'm like, I'm gonna draw lewds more often. Okay. Gotcha. So I'll draw that as a basic shape. It's just having a natural place to start. Honestly, that'd be cool. You never have to wear cuff clothing because your fur kind of... If you do wear jackets, it would have to like stop at... Kind of reminds me of gloves. Like it would have to be like a short jacket in order for the fur to like fold over it. I'm making mental notes right now. I gotta make mental notes because holy shit. Cause like I'm still having to... I gotta experiment and stuff because I still haven't finished those outfit sketches. Comb brushes, clothes, backgrounds, hair. There it is. Small tough. It's too small. Damn it, I put on the wrong... I wonder why it felt wrong. It was on the... It was on the wrong layer. I'm gonna cry. I'll be okay, but I am gonna cry just a little bit. So I'm making the back of your hands hairy so that there's like a transition to the big tuft of fur. Cause I like stylistic stuff, but I also like semi-realistic stuff. Like I remember when I was asking around like what's my art style. Because VGen did an update where they wanted artists to tell folks what their art style was in order to make searching for commissions a lot easier. Because it's one thing to say, oh, I could draw this, but it's just like, what if you need a specific aesthetic in mind? And like, even though I do have an anime aesthetic, it does kind of lean more towards graphic stuff, and especially with now that I'm trying to where's the boob layer? I'm trying to hide it so I can draw this better. But I'm trying to think. I'm trying to lean a bit more towards a graphic type aesthetic because I'm doing a lot of research on art movements that deal with graphic design, like the Chicano movement, the Soviet movement, pop art, Art Deco, Art Nouveau, the Venetian Secession. If you want me to adjust it, I can. Because at the end of the day, this is... Hold on. At the end of the day, this is your picture that you gotta, I also don't have to make this hair so far up. But no, I was asking folks like what my art style was, and I think it was Yuki, Yuki the Oni, that gave like a really in-depth review. And honestly, it was nice. Because like usually whenever I get reviews on my art, like a lot of times people say it looks nice. And that's it. Like Zivia, you're one of the few people who actually say what you like about the thing. And sometimes it makes me wonder, like, if like you know that I've been having some struggles with like how I see my art and stuff, because it's just like because you put a lot of effort into something, and I know I talk a lot of shit, and my shit talking tends to get a lot more I don't know how the fuck am I drawing this. So like having such a thoughtful outlook on my art and aesthetic and stuff. It's more of hair on the back of the hand. Okay, then I'll get rid of it. Like if it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. Cause like sometimes we do have opposing aesthetics, because where the fuck I put it? We do have opposing aesthetics with some things sometimes, because you tend to be more of a fan of like the leg warmer looking things, and me, I like a transition to it because I don't want something to look like leg warmer. Cause like for me, whenever I see like depictions of wolf boys and stuff, and they do have the tufts of fur and whatnot, to me it looks like a collar that could be taken off, and like that's fine for something like a musical called Cats, because like the whole thing is making cat costumes, but like to me it looks more costumey than monster. And to be honest, I tend to only like it in cats. Actually, I tend to only like it in cats because I like cats. Because I really like the costume design with cats. Like, I really love the makeup and stuff. And I like the sort of communal aspect of it because, Cats actors, they always do their own makeup. And previous actors from previous tours, they always end up, previous actors from previous tours, they teach, their successors how to do the makeup and stuff. Not necessarily as a rite of passage, but like, you know, for that personal thing, passing on the spirit of the character. It's fine. I just need to be versatile. That's one thing that I do have to keep in mind whenever I do client work sometimes, because there's probably going to be a time where a client has like a specific aesthetic in mind. And it may go against my character design philosophy. And I can't be stuck in my own head when it comes to stuff, especially when somebody is putting their trust in me in order to make a vision come to life, especially if they have something in mind. And then especially if I'm going to be a concept artist and doing work for other people, I have to take these things into consideration. I'm going to extend it though. It won't be as like it won't be the same kind of gradient, but like, okay, think about it as sort of like what I was trying to do with the neck fluff, not when I was putting it under the neck, but like how it's fanning out. So like, let me draw what I'm trying to explain on the side, because I'm gonna have to make this diagram when I do your character sheet. So this area is the wrist, right? So this area will have the hair. Yeah, it'll be like an arrow. So by the time it comes by your hair, it'll still taper off. It'll just be thicker than what I tried. So I guess we're doing this sort of method with tied in. Okay. Yeah. It's too loud up there. I'm tired of them. But let's see. So I guess let me extend it longer. The dean did do something, like, I guess they're gonna find him, and that's pretty much it. Because they're still up there, and like that entire floor is hell on earth, because that entire floor is ass, because it's like the sports floor, and I guess all of them are freshmen and haven't had any home training. Which is why they act the way that they do. And then, did you want any leg hair? Is it going to be the same way, or is it just going to be regular body hair? Because like I said, this is a mannequin, so in case you want other types of outfits. Because the clothes are going to be an entirely different layer. Well, entirely different folder. I'm pretty much just working on the bare body tonight. Because I still don't have a concrete outfit idea yet. I still got to do sketches to experiment. Like, I ended up finding some other things on Pinterest. Wait, same way. Okay. I need to look at how leg hair works. I'm also asking, so when I do that, because like your outfit isn't going to show your legs. So I'm going to need like a reference on the side with stuff. Because you know how, sometimes people show hidden tattoos or whatever. Let me make an entirely different folder body hair. Because I was just thinking of stuff like swimsuits or anything. I wasn't even thinking about lewds. The fuck is it? It's weird. And then since we did the neck fluff idea, I'm going to have to think of a way to have like something open in order to show that. And that's what I meant by I have to experiment with things. I'm mapping stuff out. But yeah, I have to experiment more. Especially since I'm doing research and stuff with aesthetics. It's nice to have variation with things. I just keep realizing that there's a lot more that I have to learn. For example, I'm struggling to think of something to do with line art when I draw, because like, okay, first time experimenting with what I've been looking up so far, even though I technically I'm still going to be in the research thing. I'm going to be in the research phase for like a couple of more months. The full canvas. I'll also make the part that I mapped out darker so you can see that easier. This is sort of where I was thinking of starting the leg hair. And then I'm still going to do that arrow thing, so it's like a gradient instead of immediately starting at the ankles. What are you thinking? Okay. If you do full half calf, I did full calf because I don't think I've ever seen anybody shave their hair like that. Pretty much I was just doing it in proportion to like the limb. Like I guess I could just, technically you wouldn't even need it on the leg. I could just have it on the foot. It'd be giving Hobbit. It'd be giving Hobbit! But I actually like the way folks draw foot hair on Hobbits though. Like, in order to make it just as short as the wrist, restricting it to just the foot. Okay. I think it should either be Hobbit short or full calf. Because, like, even whenever people wear, like, those big fur leg warmers, they usually don't have it, like... Yeah, but it kind of runs the risk of looking like a fur boot than actual, like, fur. Give me a minute. it might be possible. No, it still goes under the knee. Okay. Okay. Oh. I was excited for the Hobbit feet. Me when I have a problem. I don't know. Like, okay. Because I remember when we had this conversation before of like, do I like body hair? I'm actually very picky when it comes to body hair when dealing with real people. But when it comes to like character design, I like it from a character design standpoint. Because like it bothers me whenever people make characters that can like transform, for example. I think that a really good character design when it comes to transformations, they give a hint of what that person can transform into. Or if they've been like transformed for a long time. Like, you know that one discourse with Beauty and the Beast and how a bunch of people said that Prince Adam looks ugly. I dislike the idea that he looks ugly because he really does not look ugly. Like, if anything, he looks like a precursor to what Hercules looks like, and I think that Hercules is pretty fine. Like, I'm not attracted to Prince Adam, but I also don't see him as, because like I define ugly as like hard to look at. He is definitely not hard to look at. He looks nice. He's not hot to me. I consider Gaston more hot physically, because as soon as that nigga opens his mouth, I need him to get pushed off a cliff. But Prince Adam, he's not hard on the eyes. He's fine. Like, he is literally fine. But of course the actual problem is that the actual problem is that his transformation doesn't give any indication that he was a literal beast for years. Now, I personally don't think that his hair should be darker. Because, I don't know. I don't like the color of beast fur for human hair. I don't like it. But I do think that he should at least, like, have some sideburns or maybe some fangs left over or something. Or maybe mix his hair. Like, have his hair be a medium of like that fur and still give him some facial hair. Like, give him a goatee or something. I'm kind of against some of the redesigns and stuff for him because it kind of makes him look a lot older. And I don't know. I don't like the age gappy vibes that it gives. Because I remember when people were doing redesigns of Prince. What's the name of the prince in Barbie the Nutcracker? Because like they gave him gray hairs even though he's supposed to be a young man. Yeah, because he has light fur. So yeah, do a calico but keep the red in. I like his red hair. Because I don't think that we have any red-haired princes except for Hercules. And Hercules is technically a prince because he is the son of the king of Olympus. It's the only red-haired That's the only redhead dude we got. We need more redhead representation with the princes because all of them are like dark-haired dudes. Like Prince Philip is kind of a red hair, but he's more like a reddish brunette. Like, he's the transition between... I'm using the wrong fucking pen, and that's why I'm being bothered right now. I'm like, why is this pen being so iffy? Why are you like this? And then, now I know. But yeah, yeah, but it has like a red undertone to it, I think. Or was it more of a cool? I could be Yeah, his cloak and hat are red. Also, shout out Prince Philip. I like Prince Philip. Like, people, I don't know. I feel like I hate Disney discourse whenever people talk about like the female and male characters and shit, because I'm like, these movies are short as hell and most of the characters are teenagers whose main objective is to survive. This isn't like the fucking Hunger Games that takes place over the course of months. And even though like the earlier films, they do take place over the course of months, they're like, it's like, no, because there's time skips. Like, whenever people complain about Snow White, Tiana is not the only exception. I hate that. This is another reason why I hate this discourse, because it's clear that nobody has watched a Disney movie since they were fucking 5 years old. Disney princesses have had strong personalities since literally the Renaissance, and it started with Ariel. It started with Ariel. The only exception. No, the age, like in terms of age gap. Technically, the age gap discourse when it came to Disney characters is fake, because like some of them actually do not have confirmed ages. And it was just like random interviews where staff was like making random ass guesses just to say something. Like, a lot of them weren't considering actual ages in mind. They were just going based off of, like, whatever beauty aesthetics at the time. Okay, because I thought you meant you were talking about characterization. And I'm like, hell no. Tiana is not the only exception, even though I love her. Merida is technically... No, Tiana is a teen, but she's an adult teen. She's 19. So are Merida and Rapunzel. So are Merida and Rapunzel. Yeah, she's 19. Isn't it fucking sad that she's 19 and she's working 2 jobs? I hate capitalism. She should be in the club. Like, if there's a character that is just like, why the fuck is she working that much? She should be in the fucking Tiana. Like, yeah, freshly 18. We should make a list of Disney princesses who should be in the club. Rapunzel, Tiana, Cinderella, Jasmine. We can't have Ariel be in the club. She'll be like over analyzing shit, and I'm like, girl, you better go to your anthropology class. Oh yes, Aurora. Disney princesses that should have been in the club. Just in the club. Like, they should be shaking ass, not dealing with the shit that they're dealing with. And I'm picking princesses that were either stuck in the house. I feel like Mulan was been going to the club though. Like, she was active in her community. Like, I'm mainly talking about Disney princesses that were like confined most of their life and they like need to go out and do things recreationally. Fucking Rapunzel did not have a child. Aurora was literally like on the witness protection program, and she lived in the forest with 3 old ladies. Cinderella was a slave in her own house. Tiana was working 2 jobs. These women should have been shaking ass. I feel like Belle would go to the club sometimes, but she'd rather go to like one of those she'd rather go to like those book clubs for alcoholics. That's her recreation. I don't think about Rhea. I have not seen that movie. Cause like I didn't like the dragon design, so I was already bored, and also hearing about some of the Southeast Asian representation. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even going to care about this from a anthropological cause like even though I'm not an anthropologist. Yeah, I know she's in the princess list. I'm just saying that she's a princess that I don't even care for. Cause like technically Anna and Elsa could both be in the they should have been shaking ass list, but I didn't name them because I don't care for them either. Actually, no, I semi care for Anna because I think that she gets too much disrespect within the fandom. Like, I went to Disney World, right? And I went to Hollywood Studios. I went to Disney World last week. Oh, hey Plush, how's it going? I'm drawing leg hairs. I'm doing character design. I'm drawing Zivia's PNG model. And Zivia is already going to be the head of the curve, even though she 2% shot herself in the foot by picking Wolf as a VTuber theme. She's going to be the head of the curve. Because you want to know what Wolf VTubers don't have? They don't have ears that extend all the way down, like a real ear. And most of them don't have body hair. It's like once in a blue moon that I see a wolf VTuber or a dog VTuber with actual hair. Like, please, I'm starving. Like the furry department and the there's live 2D models of VTubers that straight up turn into Transformers. I don't think that we're testing the medium the way that we should be. Like, we are stretching the limits. Also, who else joined? Hold on, let me scroll up. Hey Vagrant, how's it going? But we were talking about Disney princess discourse, and we were talking about Disney princesses that shouldn't have been dealing with the stuff that they were dealing with, how they should have been in the club shaking ass instead of dealing with the things they were dealing with. Oh, that's awesome. I hope that you have a good time working. Like Tiana. Yes, like Tiana, because she had 2 fucking jobs at 19. Oh my god. Like, I was already mad that she had 2 jobs because, like, you live in the 1920s. The fuck are you working 2 jobs for? Like, the economy was better during that time. There's no reason why you had 2 jobs. But then she's black, so... And we got paid less at that time. And she's a woman, so I don't know. She works a day shift and a night shift, and I guess she takes naps in between. Like, the only times that she sleeps is when she's on the commute to work. It's like Japan. You know how in Japan, when you're on the subway and stuff, like, they have signs that's just like, oh, if they fall asleep, it's fine, because they already got a timer on. And it's like applauded when you fall asleep on the way back home or on the way to work, because it means that you're working hard. And motherfuckers be wondering why the suicide rate is so high. But it's not too crazy. Like, yes, there's discrimination when it comes to working, but like, she was doing service jobs back then. They would definitely hire us because we're supposed to be servants. Like that's specific. And she lives in New Orleans. Like, Louisiana as a state was technically one of the more progressive southern states, because like, it has such a high concentration of minorities there due to it being a port and stuff. Hex, I could talk about the history of red light districts in Louisiana with how progressive it was, because like red light districts were essentially invented in the US, because like technically red light districts existed everywhere, right? But particularly in the US, like the ones in Louisiana were top tier because it was like funded by the state. Like mayors literally put funding into it because it's just like, okay, we can make a lot of money into this, and if we have like the sexy stuff put in a specific area, we can be able to monitor it for safety and to also keep it away from the public eye. Like people will know that there's a specific place to go to get ass. The most that I have to offer about Louisiana is mainly about the history of sex work there, because I follow this one YouTuber named Intellectual Media, and she's a pinup model and a historian, and she's been doing different series. Like Lex does the 90s, Lex does the 80s, and she talks about like the history of certain trends and stuff. But she's also been talking about like the history of like sexual expression and stuff. Yeah, it is. I really like her content. I should do fan art sometime. And I tried asking in a DM if it was okay, but she did not reply, so I'm probably not going to do fan art. I cry? Actually, no. Because somebody did it. Somebody did fan art. I'll look it up again. Especially with the kind of stuff that I'm studying with my art, because like I'm looking up different graphic art and I'm getting into different graphic arts, and looking at pinups and whatnot is like going to be a part of it, because I like pinups. Because like I usually don't talk about horny thoughts on main and stuff, right? Because like my page is for more or less general audiences. Like I'll get vulgar or I'll talk about serious topics sometimes, but like the most lewd that I'm gonna get on here with talking about stuff, at least from a media analysis perspective, there is a lot of like worth that goes into the erotic arts, but I feel like it isn't fully realized. Like we haven't seen a lot of experimentation and stuff in the erotic arts since the 70s. Since the 70s, because the 70s was considered like the 70s was the golden age of pornography, because at that time you saw a lot of experimentation within the medium. Oh, I'll continue after the ad. I'll continue after the ad then. Give me just a moment. Okay, can you hear me? I'm back. Okay, sorry I cut off. Pretty much what I was trying to say is that there's a lot of value to be had with the erotic arts, because it definitely showed its potential in the 70s. You got a Spanish ad? It is a sign. God is trying to tell you something, and that is to learn fucking Spanish. I plan on learning Spanish sometime this year because I need to. Plus, it'll help me be more marketable on a job, but more importantly, like, okay, there have been times where I need to learn Spanish and I need to learn ASL. Like, not to get off topic, but to get off topic, and I'll get back on the conversation about the erotic arts. But there have been twice when I worked as a library clerk where somebody was deaf, and like the first time it was fine, right? Because they were calling over the phone and they were working with an operator, because there's like services where a deaf person can work with an operator to call, and they'll like relay the information back to that person, which is awesome. But then there was a second time, and it was during COVID, where somebody was like, they were deaf because they could say words, they could speak, but they mainly knew sign language. And then I got nervous, and whenever I get nervous I talk faster, and I'm like, fuck. But I ended up calling one of my coworkers, because she knows both Spanish and sign language. She's like the youth director there, the youth program coordinator, and that helps so much. But oh my god, I felt so embarrassed because I couldn't help. So I want to learn, because like, okay, now I'm working at a museum. I work at the Black History Museum in my state, and I need to, I don't know, I care a lot about accessibility, and I want to be able to provide whatever help that I can, because like, you know, I heard knowing Spanish helps with understand Brazilian and Latin. Yeah, because like Spanish is a Latin language, and Portuguese is like first cousins with Spanish, because Portuguese, it kind of sounds like both Spanish and French mixed together. I considered learning French first because I took French in high school because I was really into Miraculous Ladybug, and I wanted to learn because I don't know what the hell was going on with Zach Studios. I do not know what the hell was going on with Zach Studios, but I don't know what the hell was going on with Zach Studios, but like, their upload consistency was really weird, and they kept changing what platform they were playing on, because like, there was a time, depending on what language it was on, it would be on like either Nickelodeon or Disney, and it's just like, how the hell do you fuck this shit up? Like, what are you doing? And I wanted to be able to understand the French dub, so I wouldn't have to wait as long for the English version, because like, the English version would upload at a weird time. The fuck? Trying not to make it too long. How long did I make it when I drew you for Nari's event? Now that I think about it, I'm looking at the picture again. But don't worry, I'm looking through it. Okay, so I had it hanging out more, so that's why. So that's why it looks longer than how it did in Nari's event. I'm going to make it curve in just a wee bit more. Actually, no. I'm just gonna expand the dimensions. I'm just gonna change the canvas size. It's fine. With I need 200. It'll be off center, but it'll be fine. No, what was I thinking? But yeah, I want to be able to be more helpful and stuff, and that's pretty much it. But what was I on before? Oh yeah, I was talking about the artistic potential of erotic media, cause like it obviously has potential and stuff, because during the what was it? During the 70s, the 70s was considered the golden age of pornography, because that was when a lot of directors and whatnot were literally able to like that was the time where you could be able to make an adult film and get critical accolades for it. Like a lot of directors and cinematographers and whatnot were able to make adult film productions, and then they would get like Academy Awards and make it into Hollywood. Of course, the people who actually starred in these things weren't as lucky, because like the stigma against sex work and stuff, and it kind of pisses me off that that these studios can profit off of the visage of these people, and yet they can never, like, well, it's not that they can never, because you could work in adult entertainment and live a successful life, but it's very difficult, especially in this country, because of the legal and social stigma against it. But essentially what I'm trying to say is that erotic art can be art, right? Because like there's often a lot of discourse with how SFW artists are like held in a certain regard compared to NSFW artists, even though a lot of NSFW artists, like, they're really good. Like, I feel like a lot of them have a better understanding of anatomy, which that's kind of a given. You're drawing naked forms, and so that would require you to have a better understanding of anatomy, because you can't hide your mistakes under clothes, you know? And then there's also like the issue, like people value artistic nudity more or less, and I say more or less because you know, issues with purity culture and stuff, but I still think that like artistic nudity really does not have that much of a bad rep. But when it comes to depicting actual sexual acts, that's when it gets a bit But I think that part of the stigma when it comes to erotic art, like, I don't know, some fetish content to me is very lowbrow. Because, like, if you've seen my page, I've talked shit about stuff like Book Talk and stuff, because I kind of don't value some of the content that's on Book Talk, because I consider it, like, low effort content that's made for sexually repressed white women. Because like a lot of the tropes and stuff, the way that it depicts excuse me, it has mature content, but it's not very mature, because like there's like this obsession with power dynamics, with romance, and a lot of the protagonists lack agency. and sex is sort of reduced to a power dynamic instead of just another expression of intimacy. And I feel like these things, a lot of people put these works on a pedestal because it has explicit content, but to me, for it takes more than having explicit content to me in order for a thing to be good, or at least quote unquote progressive. Because like some people hold slasher films in a similar regard, because they're like, oh, they're defying the status quo because they have sex and violence in there, and they're willing to like push the boundaries of the medium by putting this stuff in there. And I'm like, are they really pushing the boundaries though? Because like the way that sex and violence is used in like older slasher films, it's usually done in a way to dehumanize. I never watched Pokemon, and I never really cared for her. I noticed she's been dealing with a lot of sexual harassment though, so I at least hope that she's okay. I hope she's okay. And because like when I said that I don't care for somebody, it's more like they literally just exist, and I really do not care enough to keep up with this person. If I hear about something, it's through osmosis, not because I intentionally looked for it. Because like Pokemon, she's big and famous, and she's always trending, and because I follow entertainment in general, I'm gonna know something about her. But I hope that she does well with her endeavors. And that's pretty much it. I hope that she can move on to better things. Speaking of folks moving on, like with entertainers moving on, I'm kind of concerned about the state of entertainment right now. Because like folks have been talking about stuff with like MatPat leaving, and so many other people leaving YouTube and whatnot. And people are like, well, y'all shouldn't be so discouraged because this is an opportunity for new artists. And it's just like, yeah, but that's really half and half, because the way that YouTube has been ran, it is really hard for, like, this isn't to say that nobody could be the next MatPat to take on the mantle or whatever, or to fill in that void. It's more that the conditions that existed for YouTube before are definitely not the same as conditions now, because there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of performers and creators with potential, right? But because the site is so hostile, and they've made it clear that they only care for a select demographic of performers, whether it's the content farming groups or just white people in general, cishet white people in general, or those who could be white passing like Mark. Okay, something that gets on my nerves about discourse with Mark, people are like, how do people not know that he's Korean? I did not know that he was Korean until I first saw his mom, and I can't even remember when I saw his mom. And somebody's just like, well, it's so obvious because of his monolid. I grew up around white people who had monolids, but they had no Asian ancestry. Because, like, it kind of bothers me that people think monolid equals Asian, when that is not the case. I know black people with monolids, and they have no Asian ancestry. At least nothing recent, right? Like, they could have had a great-great-great-great-grandparent, but, like, it's so fucking diluted that it probably did not come from them. And, like, his last name is fucking Fishback. Like, it's obvious that he is biracial if you know his mom, because, like, as soon as he sits next to his mom, you know they're related. But, like, if you look at him for just 2 seconds and then you look away quickly, that dude looks like a white man. I'm sorry. See, it was even harder for me to tell during his red hair era, because, like, A bunch of the white dudes at my school started to do their hair like that, so it did not help. It did not help. It did not help me. Like, my facial recognition of white people is like in relation to the white people that I am around. Fishback is a German ass name. Like, when I saw his last name, I'm like, yeah. I looked it up because I liked that dude. I had a crush on him. I wanted to know his information just to say that I knew it. Just to act like I've done something. Like, but no, when I say that my recognition of white people was like in relation to the white people that I'm around, I'm so fucking serious. When I went to Indiana, I had a hard time telling white people apart. Because, like, I can't remember what this word is called. There's, like, a specific word to talk about, like, racial face blindness. How it's hard to tell the difference between a certain race if you have not been around them. And it doesn't help that people in the Midwest, like, regardless of what race you are, people in the Midwest dress the fucking same. Like, all of the South Asians dress the same. All of the white people dress the same. All of the black people dress the same. Like, what the fuck is with the Midwest and not having any individuality whatsoever when it comes to fashion? But no, oh my god. Shout out Amy. I prayed for her when I found out that she existed and they dated. Because I hate how fandom is. Like, every time I find out, like, even if she wasn't dating Mark, finding out that she existed and she had proximity to Mark, I prayed. Like, holy shit. Especially after the Dan and Phil type stuff, I'm like, no. Like, I was straight up like, if any Cephidae fan does something, I hope they die before they manage to do it. It's like what I was talking about earlier when it came to Nicki Minaj and how she was invoking the name of God. You know what scripture that bitch needs to be reading and repeating to herself? It is better to put a millstone around your neck than to hurt one of his little ones. In reference to the fucking children that she keeps endangering with her BS. Like, I need her to lose. There's no reason why her kids... Like, I need to look up, like, offender laws in the state that they live in. Because something that bothers me, if he's a registered sex offender and he can't be around minors, how is he allowed to be in the same house as his kids? And one can argue, because, like, just because you're an offender doesn't mean that you're going to attack your own kids. Because there's plenty of examples of folks making distinctions. Like, there are folks that will straight up fight for the protection of their own kids but not hesitate to harm another. But at the same time, I don't think that he should be allowed custody or any contact with his children. Because, like, what makes them so different from another child? As far as I'm concerned, they're just as much in danger. Because even if he doesn't do anything, he's a terrible influence. Like, I don't know. He should not be there. I need them to lose custody. I'm so serious. But, but no, shout out Amy. Shout out that one song by Britney Spears, If You Seek Amy. It took me years to find out what the song was about. Like, say If You Seek Amy very fast. That's what it's about. She was so brilliant for that. Because I did not figure that out until literally years later because I was not listening to it like that. The first time I heard that song was literally in that one season of Drag Race where there was like Utica and Denali. and Rose and stuff, because Rose and Denali did a lip sync for it. And that's when I shipped Rose and Denali, and that was when I told myself I need to fucking sit down, because I have never had a real person ship in like eons. Why the fuck am I doing that shit now? Yeah, I hope that things go well. What the fuck? I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna work on this for 1 more hour just so I can make sure I have the line work and the base coloring, because I wanna get the base model done today. I just underestimated the sketching stage, which I really should not do that, because I know that the sketching stage literally takes the longest amount of time for me. Because it's the planning stage. It's the most meticulous. Now once I get on line art, I'm zooming. I got the zoomies. But what was I thinking? Shit, what was I thinking before? Oh yeah, I thought that Mark was a white man until I saw his mom, and then when he sat next to his mom, I'm like, yeah. And also, white people in the Midwest look the fucking same. Like, there was this dude that I had a crush on, who I learned to rock climb to get with, only to still fucking fail. But it's still fine, because, like, okay, I'm not the kind of person who would inconvenience myself just to get with somebody. If I get into an interest that I originally didn't have, it means that I at least had, like, a passive idea of getting into it. Because when I found out that there was a rock wall at my college, I was just like, hell yeah. But I don't have anybody to go with, and I feel awkward. And then he exists, and then I'm like, yes, I have a goal, and I became belay certified. I need to get belay certified again, because I genuinely like rock climbing. Like, rock climbing is lit. I like nature. Not enough to rock climb in real life, but I'll rock climb in a controlled environment, because if I go rock climbing for real and there's like a spider on my hand, I'll just fucking die. Like, no. I like nature from an observational standpoint. Y'all don't understand. Being a jellyfish is hard. Like, I would probably rather hang out in the ocean than hang out in a fucking forest. Even though the ocean is literally more unpredictable, but I like water, even though I can't swim. I suck. Like, I have a hard time. Like, it's not delivery, it's the struggle. Okay. So this is done. The sketch is done. I'll add the nails when I do the line work. But, was it on again? I forgot. Do you want pads on your fingers? Now that I think about it. Me, when I do your character sheet and it's just like multiple diagrams of the wolf features and stuff, you'll definitely stand out. Because I remember when you were like, oh, how am I going to stand out as a bat VTuber? How am I going to stand out as a wolf VTuber? And I'm like, you're black. Let's start with that. You're already ahead of the curve. You're already ahead of the curve. You'll be fine. I believe in you. But, what else? feel like the neck fluff would definitely be a little bit different though. Considered it, but it's also like it's not like I would have fur on my hands, so it would look weird. Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily about fur in your hands. It's more about having traction and stuff. Because isn't that what? No, that's not what the pads are for. They're for cushioning, as like protection. But okay, it's fine. I won't do it. I might as well start with the line art then. Body base line art. But I'm trying to think, right? How do I start? Start with the head. What was I thinking about before? I was thinking about something. Conehead. I've considered going bold as a toggle. Because I can. But then I realized I would have to do that for every outfit variant. And it's like, I'm like, do I want to do that? Do I want to have to make that toggle for literally every outfit? Because I already got to do a, like, how many shortcut spaces do I have? Now that I think about it, like, I'm gonna cry. I love creating, but at the same time, creation can be such a fucking chore when you gotta do it for yourself. Oh, you still haven't gotten food? Nigga, I thought you already hated up your spaghetti! Oh my gosh. Okay, somebody else tag in then. Like, I don't mind talking to y'all, but sometimes I feel like I'm monologuing. I could talk to myself, but usually when I talk to myself, I'm like talking to myself on the inside. Because if I talk to myself on the outside, I get scared. I'm like, am I talking too much? But then at the same time, people actually came here to listen to me talk shit. I have to constantly remind myself that. Because, like, okay. Here's the thing, right? I come across as a very confident person, and it's more like I'm like in a sweet spot between having low self-esteem and having the highest self-esteem. Essentially, there may be times where I lack confidence in myself, but I have audacity anyways because I feel like my lack of like confidence in certain areas shouldn't deny me from having a good life. Like, I am very affirmative because even with my own personal issues, I don't want to deny myself any opportunities or any good things. Because, like, when you let yourself talk yourself out of good things, it just makes life so much harder. So, like, I guess remember this when you're having moments where you, like, feel like garbage or whatever. Like, affirm yourself. But yeah, I know that as soon as I make this damn character sheet, I'm going to be writing so many notes. Like, ears extend down. A lot of people have said that they appreciate like how detailed I am with my character sheets though, because it gives clear instruction. There's like no room for confusion. And that's partially because like I used to be an animation major, so learning the sort of pipeline process of animation directly, it helped. It helped me be more considerate and stuff with my character design. Because I'm like, shit, if I gotta animate this, what kind of instructions would I want? What froze? The spaghetti? Ah, so you are gonna eat the curry. So pretty much, I asked myself, if I'm gonna animate this character, what kind of instructions would I want, and how clear do I want things to be, and I go from there. And I feel like more people who do character design and stuff, they should think about that more often. Okay, you can pop it in the microwave and pray. Yeah. Look at how quickly I'm getting this done. I love vector lines. I need everybody to learn what vector lines are and get good at them, because like holy shit, they will save your life. Because I can always edit the thickness of the lines easily. Like I know that there are some people who just sketch out the line work and they just shave it off with the eraser. I can't do that because I erase shittily. Vector lines are more helpful. I'll be right back again because microwave upstairs is almost 11. They close. Okay, go ahead. Go eat. Go get food. But as I said before, my confidence teeters. Because like when I grew up, I used to get bullied. And it's like, who doesn't? But like some people, they probably grew up with like a good life and did not have to deal with that kind of shit. So I don't know. But like I could just be talking about something that I like and I'm the only person talking. But like nobody is contributing to the fucking conversation. So it's just like, why is it a problem that I'm the only one talking? And number one, and number two, if you just wanted silence, just say that. Because hex, I could have not wasted my time by talking about the things that I liked. But instead you decided to stew in silence instead of just being like, hey, I need quiet for right now. And stuff. It's so easy to communicate what the fuck you want. Instead of stewing there like a little bitch and then getting rude that somebody decides to fill in that noise. Because most of the time I do not like complete silence. I think that it's suffocating. I only like complete silence when I'm trying to sleep, and even then it's like half and half. But sometimes whenever like my mind is running wild, it like hears everything. And I think it's also like trauma, because one time I almost got shot. So like now when it comes to hearing sounds around the house, it's like really difficult to hear shit. It's crazy. But yeah, I used to have, and sometimes I still kind of do have consciousness about being the only person talking, because it's just like, damn, am I talking too much shit? But then I realize a lot of people like it when I talk shit. So I don't feel as bad, but I do try to be like considerate and stuff. And I at least can be an attentive listener for the most part. I kind of suck at listening right now because I think I have an ear infection. I need to do like a telecom appointment, because like I have no free days during the week. Like I got free Saturdays every other day. But I should do like a tele appointment or something, because like my ear's been blocked. And it's uncomfortable. But yeah. What was another thing that I was thinking about? Yeah, it's fine. Nobody's gonna see it from that close anyways. But then, what was I thinking about earlier? Oh yeah, pretty much. If you struggle with confidence with some things, that's okay. But like, live anyways. Like, if you feel like you don't deserve something, be like, okay, there are other people who don't deserve things, but they still get things. So why am I the exception to the rule? Like, I think the key to dealing with a lack of confidence is having audacity despite it. Okay, I don't deserve this thing. Even though, like, I never really had that idea of I don't deserve it. Because, like, I don't think that people should have merit to have good things. Because, like, there's a lot of shitty people in this world that gets good things anyways. And I'm like, if a shitty person could get a good thing, then why am I exempt, you know? So like a lot of that is having audacity to get good things even if you feel like you don't deserve it, even though I never had those feelings of being undeserving. My issue was like learning to not give a fuck about certain stuff. And that's still a process. Like I still give a fuck. I very much give a fuck. I'm just a do the thing anyways, even when you have your fears of rejection, because like I consider myself to be a very courageous person. I'm not brave. I get scared of a lot of things, but I do it anyways because some shit I am simply not going to allow or deny myself. Like I may fear a loss of community because I'm outspoken, because like there have been times where there's like really shitty practices within a group and stuff, and like because I grew up being bullied and dealing with isolation and stuff for different stuff, there's like that genuine fear of being outcasted, but at the same time I speak out against those crappy practices anyways, because like if it's wrong, then it's wrong. And if I have to sacrifice my integrity to have community, I kind of don't want it. I don't think that the community is worth having. Because I shouldn't have to compromise who I am. But that's pretty much my 2 cents on the thing. Sorry, whenever I concentrate, I get really quiet because like I'm pretty much focusing all of my brain power on that specific task. Like I say that I could turn my brain off during line art, but it's like also a little bit half and half. Browse. But what else? So yeah, have Audacity. Try to have more audacity with your life. Don't be like, it's okay to be a little bit entitled. Because shitty people can get good things. And I consider myself a not shitty person. So why should I be denied good things, you know? But that's why I need to have more confidence in like my skills and stuff. Cause to be honest, I'm kind of bad at promoting myself with some things. Like I'll plug myself in my friends. Cause like I always hear my oomfies talking about, ooh, it's hard to find an artist that draws this, and that. And I'm like, I can. Cause I have no shame. I have no shame. And also like, I genuinely want to help with some stuff because like, okay, I am always caught between a rock and a hard place when it comes to talking about diversity in art, because I understand I understand with me whenever it came to representation in art, I just wanted to see my people win. There wasn't necessarily a need for me to feel validated as a person, because to be honest, when it came to black representation, a lot of characters I did not see myself in. Like I did not see myself as those characters and stuff, because like I kind of hate it whenever people say we need characters that look like our kids, but like blackness is sort of, especially when it comes to black conversations, I'm talking about this from a black perspective, a lot of blackness isn't really depicted diversely. Like I hate some of the videos when it was just like, yeah, that princess looks like me or whatever, because you know that one trend with the black parents filming their kids looking at the Little Mermaid and stuff, and they were like, Mom, she looks like me. She looked like some of them. Halle Bailey looked like some of them, but like some of these kids were dark skinned, some of these kids were plus size, and I feel like parents need to stop being like, oh look, this girl looks like you, when no, she's black. You're happy to see her because of like black solidarity, but that doesn't mean that's not the same of actually having your features being validated. Because like, if the only thing that you have in common with this character is that you're black, that's not really, it's more so about solidarity than actual, it's more about that than because like with me personally, growing up, I only had a character look like me twice. Like there are only 2 times that I can say that a character has looked like me. The first one was Raven Baxter. Like Raven Simone played as Raven Baxter in That's So Raven. And then the second time wasn't until my early 20s when Encanto came out, and I saw Mirabelle. Because, like, immersion break. Raven Baxter was who I looked like when I was little, and then Mirabelle is who I look like now. But, with everybody in between, everybody was either darker than me, or they were a boy, or they didn't wear the kind of stuff that I would wear. I would say Aisha sort of looked like me at one point because they whitewashed her, but that was pretty much it. Aisha from the Wings Club, right? And that's pretty much it. But but I was still happy to see it because like my household was like, if one of us are winning, then all of us are winning. There's like that strong sense of sort of black solidarity. But like when it comes to talks about representation in media, right? Especially when it comes to like artistic depictions, I feel like, I don't know, I'm very discouraged right now from both a professional standpoint and a personal standpoint. From a professional standpoint, if anybody's been following the recent layoffs and stuff within the gaming industry, both Riot and Microsoft combined have fired over, I think, about 2,000 and something workers. And in the case of Riot, a lot of the workers that were fired were women and people of color. Because you know how when Black Lives Matter was sort of at its most recent peak, because it's had several peaks, to be honest. Like another peak that they had was with Trayvon Martin, and another one was with Breonna Taylor. But the most recent peak was with George Floyd. How all of these companies were just like, oh, we wanna do better within our workplace by hiring more people of marginalized demographics and stuff, and how so many companies were hiring diversity coordinators. We're hiring diversity coordinators and whatnot. And how last year, several of those diversity coordinators, they were fired around the same time, and most of them were black women. So studios have made it clear that they will not hesitate to profit from diversity politics in order to stay relevant. And then as soon as, because affirmative action recently got eradicated and shit, as soon as they have an out to not have to hire marginalized people, they will use that out and not be bothered anymore. So from a professional standpoint, that's discouraging. And then from like a personal standpoint, or should I say from an audience standpoint, I feel like a lot of people aren't really honest whenever they say that they want representation. And I say that because like sometimes the support can be very selective. The support can be very selective because like whenever, for example, with VTubing, I see let's see. Give me just a minute. This is left arm. I feel like people care a little bit more about proximity to prestige than they do about representation, because like there's a lot of marginalized creators that could be getting the support, that are in need of support, right? But a lot of them, they lack that existing prestige of not being a part of a bigger company and stuff, so they sort of get pushed to the side. And like it's kind of annoying that a lot of people are like, oh, we need an indie revolution in order to save the craft, but it's just like you don't branch outside of mainstream media. And you also got like art customers being inconsiderate whenever like an artist gets sick and they can't get their pretty picture, or people going into your DMs saying that something is too expensive. Like, okay, something happened to me recently. There was somebody who was like, oh, I need emotes, and I plugged myself, and They were in my DMs. It was just like, oh, I would need you to do this and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. Just fill out the information. Just fill out the information and fill out with any references that you need. And then I get left on red. And because that person was like now in my feed because I was in contact with them, I end up seeing them commenting under somebody else's post being like, oh, I like what you got. I'll commission you for emotes. And this isn't to say that you can't do that, but like, don't be in somebody's DMs and talking about you want something and then leave them on red when they tell you like what exchange that they have. That's rude as hell. Tell them that you're no longer interested or it's outside of your budget or something. That's it's honest, and because it's honest and upfront, it's more courteous. It's more courteous. Like, I don't know. Because it's very discouraging, you know? Like, I don't know. Hold on, I'm drinking some water. I'm gonna cry. But yeah, if you don't want anything anymore, please be honest. Don't just be weird. But yeah, we're experiencing a lot of decline with the arts and stuff, and it's partially because on a corporate and an audience level, nobody gives a fuck. And even when it comes to like other issues like representation in media and whatnot, I feel like a lot of people aren't as honest about what they want. That people care more about big companies investing into these things instead of like them as an audience investing into the people that try. And of course this is a half and half thing, right? Because like it shows like people need to stop saying that go woke go broke diverse media doesn't bring in any money, because that's not the case. When it comes to stuff like Black Panther and Shang-Chi, folks turn out. And one, it's because people actually want to be seen and validated through the media that they consume. And two, Black Panther and Shang-Chi were really good movies. Like, literally the only diverse films that do bad are the ones that don't have any fucking effort put towards them. Like, the fact that Shang-Chi could be successful despite having Awkwafina in there, it's testament to how good the writing and shit was. Because I know that she didn't... I hope that she didn't write a joke. If she did, why can't she be that consistent in quality? What happened? And why hasn't she struck gold again? I don't know. I don't like Awkwafina as a person. I strongly dislike her because I dislike how she became famous by essentially using AAVE, because it's just like, oh, non-black person using black vernacular and stuff. I think it's really shitty because it treats blackness as a punchline, and I feel like it's very low effort content, and I don't think that she should have ever became famous the way that she did because of how low effort it is. Like, it's given Vine minstrelsy. If anybody who should be getting the opportunities, the acting opportunities that Awkwafina is getting, it should be Stephanie Sue from Everything Everywhere All at Once, because she's an amazing actress. She's an amazing actress. I loved her as both Joy and as Karen in the SpongeBob musical. I don't know if that's where she got started, but I know that Everything Everywhere All at Once was like her theatrical debut. And she should be getting these opportunities that Aquafina is getting. Like, she should be Sin from in the new Kung Fu Panda movie. Stop putting Aquafina in things. I'm so serious. Like, seeing Aquafina after Shang-Chi, when I found out how she became famous and stuff, and seeing her shitty ass jokes. Y'all don't understand. Like, it's so bad with seeing her on screen because of how fucking annoyed I am. That when I saw the movie Renfield, because I didn't know that she was in the movie Renfield, for those who don't know, because last year Dracula had an anniversary. Last year Dracula had an anniversary. So there was so much Dracula media from the last voyage of the Demeter, which is like that ship that Dracula came to. That Dracula arrived to England on, and then Renfield. Aquafina played a cop in there. But no, as soon as I saw her, I turned that shit off. I was just like, no, I don't like her. I love this song. But yeah, it got so bad that as soon as I saw her in the Renfield movie, because I was enjoying it so far. Pretty much the premise is that Renfield is like in an abusive relationship with Dracula, which is a given. And he has to nurse Dracula back to health by finding victims and stuff, and he's constantly dealing with his like moral dilemmas of enabling a monster. And Aquafina plays a cop who's trying to solve the missing persons case. And, like, it's that typical story of, like, my dad was a cop and he got killed, and I was inspired by him to fight for justice and stuff, and as a means to get closure, and da 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 da. But, like, I do not care for her. As soon as I saw her in the movie, I turned it off. I might try to watch it again. Hey, I was talking about Awkwafina and how much I dislike her, to the point where as soon as I saw her in a movie, I turned it off, even though it had a really good premise. I might watch Renfield again, because I like Dracula. Like, Dracula is one of my favorite classic books. Dracula is one of my favorite classic books. I hate how some people, like, hate classic literature. And I understand, right? Whenever you have to do required reading, it kind of turns off your, like, your love of reading. Because honestly, it's been a while since I've read shit. Like, the most that I've been reading, The Prayer Hath Work. Oh, yay! See, prayer work. I'm not going to start evangelizing on stream. I hate it when niggas do that. Did I tell you about how I was on the bus? Because I went to Walmart to pick up a prescription, and then I went to Edwards to get some snacks and stuff, like some chimichangas and whatnot. And there was this one dude who was trying to evangelize to me at the bus stop, and I'm like, sir, I'm Baptist. I already know Jesus. I'm okay. Like, I'm fine. Please and thank you. I just want to sit down. He offered me some chicken wings, though. So that was nice. I didn't want any, though. I was not hungry like that. Or at least I wasn't hungry for that. I did not want that. But yeah, I really like... I did not mind the required readings that we had to do in high school. But maybe because I actually like to learn. But I can understand how required readings can, like, turn off somebody from reading. Because it's just like, you know, when you have to do something and you have to do homework, like, learning should be... You should have a desire to learn things. And I feel like we kind of have a terrible infrastructure to make people want to learn because of, like, homework and anti-intellectualism. And then there's me, agnostic, hearing someone evangelize to me, and I'm just stands awkwardly and not where... You could just say no thank you. Like, I will literally just say no thank you. Because, like, to me, it's annoying no matter where you... No matter what affiliation that you have. From a personal perspective, from my perspective, right? I have a problem... Because, like, sometimes there's beef between denominations and stuff. Especially amongst black people, because, like, there's always discourse about what is the quote-unquote true religion, and it's not just about, like, Christianity and stuff. Like, I be seeing pagan black people and Islamic black people arguing and stuff, and I'm like, y'all need to shut the hell up. And because I hate that discourse. Like, I remember the other day when somebody was just like, because I remember when somebody was calling Christianity the white man's religion, and I'm like, here the fuck you go again. Like, shut up. You're black. You're a black American. And the reason why I say you're a black American, is that our forms, whether it's of Christianity, whether it's of traditional spirituality with pagan practices, whether it's with Islam, they're all technically bastardized versions of the original because of how far away removed we are from the source. Like, American Christianity is a very specific brand, and I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that. Like, America was founded by, like, Quakers and Puritans and shit, and they were considered so fucking weird that they got kicked out. And then they ended up, like, changing it and switching it up to, like, try to Well, it's not necessarily, yeah, because you're not of blood. And then even with the of blood thing, there's still like a recruitment process with that. With hoodoo and voodoo, I never considered it because like it's a different kind of responsibility. Well, in the sense that I never considered it. Like, here's the thing. When it comes to black spiritual practices, because like even with Christian affiliation, we still end up practicing those traditions because like we're black. And that's another thing. Like when I say that, it's like a bastardized form with being removed from the source, with still incorporating West African traditions into it because that's where we came from and stuff. Because like there's some Christian traditions that only black people do, and that's simply because we're descendants of West Africa. So it's an extension of that. Like there are some things that are uniquely black American and whatnot. So like I find arguments over what makes somebody more authentic as a black person spiritually to be very stupid. Well, technically West Africa, because like okay, with voodoo and hoodoo, it's very much rooted in West African tradition. Because like the whole thing with like, and not just with voodoo and hoodoo, because those aren't the only closed practices that we have over here. There's also candomblé and whatnot, because they're all first cousins. Because like voodoo is like a combination of actually Catholicism and West African traditions, because they actually have saints and stuff. But and that's why so many quote unquote Christian traditions with black folks is still like, it's still pretty much voodoo. I made the claws a little bit curved. I should make them a little bit longer though. But no, whenever it comes to like spiritual discussions amongst black people and like what's the true religion or who's more authentic than the other, to me that's like the equivalent of two children born out of wedlock arguing who's a pureblood. Like, you're both bastards, shut up. Like, just pick a pantheon and shut the hell up. I'm so serious. Because if you talk to like a racist white person, they're gonna tell you that like your dark skin means that you're going to hell, fucking Mormons. And if you talk to an African, they're gonna call you, because don't get me started on beef between diaspora and mainland Africans. Because that'll turn into another kind of conversation and it'll get disrespectful very quickly. Because, like, I will never let an African put me down. I'm sorry. You took a L as an entire continent. You don't have the right. I love my African brothers and sisters, but you have no right. I refuse. God damn it. The hardest part is inking the boobs because of how curved. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I have considered practicing like some Cherokee traditions because my great grandma is Cherokee. Well, was, because she died. LML, imagine not knowing your culture pathetic. I, one, who let that happen? Two, focus on y'all's infighting for. Exactly! Like, I'm not expecting, because I'm not a fan of Pan-Africanism, because I don't think that Africa should be one fucking nation, because no. That's like colonialism with progressive framing. These are individualized countries and stuff, but I think that there should be a sense of solidarity considering how we've been treated historically. And I also find it very sad that a lot of the extremist issues that have happened in Africa is like largely due to, I don't think that people, I hate Black Panther with some things, right? Because I was talking about Black Panther earlier, and I was talking about how the go woke, go broke thing is a fucking lie. Because when a movie is diverse and also good, it does well. And I use Shang-Chi and Black Panther as examples, and that's where I got into talking about Awkwafina and shitting on her, because I will rightfully shit on her. The Killmonger cut. I hate Black Panther because of the effect that Killmonger has, because niggas do not have any media literacy. Like, I understand a critique of Marvel being military propaganda and they crap on revolutionary ideas by making the villain have good points about stuff but making them a bad guy. But in the case of Killmonger, I don't think that it was about that at all. It's literally not about that. Killmonger is literally commentary on the beef between Africa, like black diaspora and Africans. Because it wasn't necessarily his dad betraying Wakanda that was the problem. That was part of the problem. But like, because he's African American, because his mom's African American, he was like separated from his community, and because of the sense of his dad, right? Making him an outsider despite having that direct connection with Wakanda. The movie is literally about beef between Africans and diaspora over like the authenticity bullshit conversation. And how pretty much oppressive systems see us all as the same, so we might as well work together for our collective survival instead of like using connection and stuff as a means to demean and oppress each other. Because folks seem to fucking forget that Wakanda literally had spies in the US and in other places, and Njobu was literally selling drugs in black neighborhoods. Like, he was selling drugs and weapons in there, destabilizing black neighborhoods. The second movie's commentary is mainly about colonial trauma. It's mainly about colonial trauma and how that ends up, like, it's a similar thing. It's a similar message to the first movie, but now it's like it's a similar premise to the first movie, but now it talks about relations between two people of color. I still hate Namor fans, because I remember when I said that Namor is an imperialist, and they were like, you can't call a man of color that. And I'm like, what does him being a man of color have to do with anything? When he is literally using the same imperialist practices and tormenting black women. Like, I hate Black Panther fans when it comes to black women. That's pretty much it. Like, folks will dick ride Killmonger and be like, oh, they only made him put his hands on black women in order to make him look bad. And it's just like, no, he put his hands on black women because his commentary on how a lot of you fucking hoteps and fake revolutionaries will co-opt revolutionary language because you want a proximity to the same amount of power as white people instead of wanting liberation for all. Like, Like, don't fucking play with me. Because Nakia was literally saying the same thing that Killmonger was doing it, but she was actually doing the praxis. While Killmonger, he is literally a Navy SEAL. You shouldn't have trusted him in the first place because he's a Fed, right? Because he's going around, going to brown folks' countries and destabilizing them. But because he's played by Michael B. Jordan, and he was quoting Malcolm X, people were on his dick. But Nakia was literally saying the same shit about using Wakandan resources to promote black liberation, and she was a spy sneaking in and getting civilians out of these extremist situations, while Killmonger is over there, is going around fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan, taking oil and shit. You shouldn't have trusted him from the first place. But that's too much like right. I hate Namor. Because even though his situation is sympathetic, because I love black women, fuck him. I still feel like the death of Angela Bassett was unnecessary. Like, I don't like it. I hate this one premise that in order to make a female character strong or to have her prove herself, you gotta put her through unbelievable trauma. I think that Shuri could have been the Queen of Wakanda without Rwanda dying. Like, Shuri could have been queen without her mom dying, because there have been multiple cases with different royal families where the king or queen, they just step down because they're getting too old. I feel like they killed off Angela Bassett because they can't afford Ramonda. I said Rwanda. Ramonda. See, if I fuck up, I might say Zamunda, and then we're gonna go into a completely different movie. I'm gonna cry. But I feel like they killed Ramonda because they can't afford Angela Bassett. And it'd be like that, but at the same time, I don't like that. No, fuck Namor. I don't... Like, he's a really good villain. I like the world building with, what was the... It's not Atlantis. Where is Namor from again? What's it called? Talokan? Yeah, it's Talokan. Okay. I really like the world building of it, and I like the looks of the people from there, and I love how they look more human as soon as they step out of the water, but their skin changes as soon as they get in. I hate how fucking dark the movie is because I couldn't see shit. And I felt like it was probably because of crappy working conditions. I'm guessing that it's because of crappy working conditions. I'm going to assume that it's because of crappy working conditions. That as usual, the people in VFX aren't given ample time to actually make something good, so they gotta rely on shitty lighting to hide the lack of textures or whatever. Because I would have liked to see what Telecom looks like. Because, like, somebody could probably argue that, oh, they're at the bottom of the ocean and stuff, but I think that's fucking stupid since he made an artificial sun with vibranium. And also, there's literally volcanic ducts at the bottom of the ocean. Put some damn light down there. Have some glowworms or have some bioluminescent creatures to light up the place. And also, like, you know, this is a piece of fiction, right? You don't have to have realistic lighting when dealing with fantasy and stuff. The audience should be able to see things. But no, as soon as I say that Namor was very imperialist and stuff, I got jumped by his fans. And these were like the same people that were like punching the air, finding out that the actor has abuse allegations and stuff. Like, I never trust a fan that goes so hard for a male character. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I can't even say with male characters because it's not restricted to them. Because Maxine fans, there's Maxine. There's this horror movie. Remember earlier when I was talking about the artistic potentials of adult film and erotic art? If it's that deep, there should be bioluminescent creatures, if not his people themselves. Exactly! There's no fucking reason except for shitty working conditions. That's the only explanation I could think of for why. But no, what I was talking about earlier about the artistic potential of erotic fiction and stuff. An example is the movie X, because I was talking about how sex and violence was usually used to dehumanize people in a lot of slasher films, get people dick righted for quote unquote pushing the status quo, when I consider it more of a reinforcement of the status quo to use sex and violence that way. Just because it's explicit doesn't mean anything. And the movie X was low-key commentary on that. X was this horror movie took place in the 70s during the golden age of pornography, and it only came out very recently. It came out before Pearl, because Pearl is the prequel, right? X was about this little indie porn production that rented out a barn from these old people. So they can make a film. And one of the old people who already had some deeply rooted problems, Pearl, she was very jealous and stuff because she was reminded of like how she lost her youth and that she really couldn't live the dream that she wanted because of like her being a farm girl and other stuff. So she ends up going on a rampage and killing the staff of the production, and her husband also helps because he's in compliance. He wants to see her happy, and he will indulge in her murderous urges. And yeah, but the movie, it does a lot to subvert slasher tropes, like the young sexy people. They're very kind and stuff. They're not like shitty to people, because like slasher, they had this thing where they would just make people very shitty, so when they eventually died, it would come across as cathartic, so people wouldn't feel bad, even though like the whole point of horror is to make people uncomfortable. I think it's more effective to make at least some of your victims, besides the final girl, be decent people. I don't know, but so they did that. They actually had a scene with the old couple doing stuff, and it's fucking gross because I don't want to think about old people doing to do. It's like two raisins rubbing against each other. But at the same time, I do appreciate that they did have it, because like you don't stop being a sexual being once you get old. It might be difficult because like you're not able to do as much stuff as you used to, but like that's also not guaranteed, because a lot of old people are active as fuck. Because like the ladies that go to my church, they do Pilates and shit, and that's the limit of how much I'm willing to think about their activities, because like I said, two raisins rubbing against each other, I don't want to think about that. But I don't. But I appreciated that they showed that, because it happens and it's natural, and we should be at a point where we normalize the idea of like old people still living even when they are old. Your life doesn't end when you get old, it ends when you die. So why not live the life that you want? And that's also like a sort of theme in that movie, because like the whole reason why Pearl went on her rampage anyway was because she's just like, my life is over, I'm not as youthful and stuff, so I'm gonna take it out on these youths. But what I was talking about, like with like people being really weird about the characters that they like and stuff. So there's going to be a sequel, and it's in development right now, called Maxine, because Maxine was the final girl in the movie, and she's played by Mia Goth, who played as both Maxine and Pearl, because they're supposed to be parallels of each other. Because Maxine, she wanted to become a movie star, and for her, pornography was supposed to be like her means of getting there, because like I said, it was the golden age and stuff. But of course that didn't work out because the production failed because everybody fucking died. And Pearl was the prequel, which was about Pearl trying to become a movie star and failing. So Maxine is the sequel and trying to see what she does to endure afterwards and what new obstacles she deals with. But there was like a report that Mia Goth accidentally injured a stunt person. Like, I think the stunt person ended up getting a concussion, and everybody was just like, yes, queen, being just like Pearl, you better get it. And I'm like, so a real person got injured, you dumb bitch. Like, so this is why I don't like people when it comes to characters, especially when it comes to morally reprehensible characters, because like people will literally dick ride just because they're hot. I like Namor because he's a compelling opponent. I like him as a villain, right? But at the end of the day, fuck him for two reasons, right? Because he targeted black women, number one, and number two, because his actor is a piece of shit. And number three, from a comic book perspective, like, movie Namor is literally better, because comic book Namor, he's a whole bitch. Like, all he does is sexually harass Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four. Like, he pretty much just exists to be the Aquaman that gets on Reed Richards' nerves. Fuck that dude. He's lame. Especially with folks like shipping him with Shuri. Like, why? I'm so tired of that one lady who was getting jumped on Twitter for saying that she really dislikes enemies to lovers, because it's always people shipping oppressive people with the folks that they're oppressing and stuff. Like, I thought of several things. I thought of Ray. I thought of Raylo. I thought of Sutara, and I thought of fucking, I don't even know what the ship name for Shuri X Namor is, and I know it's probably ass, because like their names are not something that you could really combine well, but I know somebody probably tried and they fucking failed to do it, because it's going to be ass, because the ship is ass. It doesn't need a name. It is a beast with no nation. Like, why are you shipping somebody who literally killed somebody else's people and killed their mom? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I don't care if you like both of the actors. Not to mention, like, before we found out that Namor's actor was a shitty person, I saw more, like, friendly, platonic chemistry between him and Lupita than him and, what is Shuri's actress name? Letitia. Because, like, when they were dancing, I'm like, yeah, that's nice. And then I found out what he was, and I'm like, we gotta throw him in the garbage. Speaking of friendly chemistry, I love friendships between actors, like really good friendships between actors. Two of my favorite actor-friendly relationships are Cillian Murphy with Tom Hardy, because like they always bounce well off of each other in different films, no matter the film it is. It's almost like you can't have one without the other. And I didn't know about this because like I didn't really care for either that much, because the only thing that I knew of Tom Hardy was before I saw Peaky Blinders, right? The only thing that I knew of Tom Hardy was playing as Bane in Batman, and Cillian Murphy was also in there because he was Scarecrow. And like I don't care about The Dark Knight. So, like, I did not give a fuck. I did not care about The Dark Knight. I like some of the soundtrack things, but, like, I don't know, it looked like a typical Hollywood blockbuster, and it felt different. Like, I guess it was the nostalgia talking to me, but also, like, I just realized that I like Batman best when it's campy. I'm trying to think. I just like Batman when it's campy. Like, I think it's best when they play into the ridiculousness of a grown man wearing a bat costume. Like, I don't know. When it tries to be serious and realistic, it kind of loses the charm for me. Also, the whitewashing. Like, I know that Bane is iconic for his shitty voice that should not have existed, but he should have been a luchador. And that's why I did not care for Tom Hardy. Like, when I found out that he was going to be in Venom, I have a friend named Echo, and he likes Venom. And, like, I like Venom as a concept, but knowing that Tom Hardy was in there, I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't care. But Echo thinks that Tom Hardy is hot, so there's that. I didn't consider Tom Hardy attractive until I saw Peaky Blinders when he played as Alfie Solomons. And like, Xavier, I keep telling you that I'm not into facial hair like that, because I'm not. Because, like, it's fucking scratchy. And shit. And then some people be very, like, unkempt with it. Like, they suck at grooming it, or they be looking like fucking Amish people, and it's just like, nigga, you work in accounting and you're Catholic. Why are you wearing facial hair like this? What is your problem? But, like, it was something about Tom Hardy wearing that particular type of beard with vintage drip on. I'm like, yeah, this works for him. And I also just like his role as Alfie Solomons. Oh, I hope that, like, Stan Tumblr isn't pulling some shit like Alfie Solomons would be pro-Israel or pro-Palestine, because, like, first of all, like, you know how some people be weird and shit? Like, this isn't to shit on, like, that one trend, because, like, I think it's important to actually show, it's actually important to show pop culture characters showing support of stuff, especially if they're, like, iconic figures like Superman and whatnot, because, like, a lot of these characters are rooted in this stuff. Like, Superman would not be pro-Israel, because, like, he's literally based off of the, and I'm using him as an example because, like, I hate how Superman has sort of been bastardized by media. I hate how the big three in general have been bastardized by media, because, like, Superman gets reduced to a tyrant, and Wonder Woman gets reduced to a mean feminist stereotype, and Batman gets reduced to a rich kid who beats up the mentally ill, even though they're all mentally ill. They're literally... Yeah, but even before that, like, artists were drawing... What's that character called? There's this one cartoon character, I think starts with a W, and he's, like, literally a symbol for Palestinian resistance, so a lot of artists have been drawing their characters in the same pose as him, including the author of Witch Hat Atelier, drawing Coco that way. Handala. Oh, I thought it was a W. So, like, that's been a thing. I'm loving people. I need the right person, though. I need somebody to draw Butcher and Frenchie and them jumping Iron Dome, because, like, somebody said this Iron Dome literally looks like, and they're right, Iron Dome literally looks like if Israel got somebody pumped on Compound V and decided to make, like, their own version of Homelander and shit. I need him to get jumped. Like, I know that nobody in the 7 except for Starlight would fight him, because, you know, Vought's whole thing is being commentary on the American and military industrial complex. So the 7 would not be against him, but the boys would. I need Kimiko to jump. The full phrase is with Honda. Gotcha. Like, I don't know. I need a Girls Get It Done part 2 where Queen Maeve, Starlight, and Kimiko just jump his ass. Because, like, okay, in the original Boys comic, it actually wasn't a girls get it done sort of thing, because Stormfront was actually a guy. And that specific scene made a reference to, like, World War II. Because, like, Stormfront is a Nazi character. And what happened was Butcher, who's British, Frenchie, who's French, Huey, who's American, and Love Sausage, who's Russian, they all jumped him. But because they decided to make Stormfront into a woman in order to have that subversion in the TV show, Stormfront was a newer member of the Seven, and she was added in order to add more popularity, because it's just like, we need more women on the Seven. We need to focus on diversity and stuff. And she was very social media savvy. Oh yeah, the reason why Love Sausage is called Love Sausage is because he has elastic powers, but unfortunately it's restricted to his dick. Welcome to the world of the boys. But yeah, we gotta be progressive, guys. We gotta be better and da 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 da. But Stormfront, she was very social media savvy and shit. And then they find out that she's a Nazi and that she's a shitty person, and she actually killed Kimiko's brother, I think. And while they're on like a rescue mission to find Butcher's wife and all this other kind of stuff, they end up going after Stormfront, or Stormfront ends up pursuing them. And like the boys, they pull out their guns to fight her, but she's bulletproof. So it ends up taking the three girls, Queen Maeve, who's pretty much a Wonder Woman parody, Starlight, who's the baby of the group. She's baby. She's baby. She's baby. And Kimiko, who's also called the female, because she's the only girl in the boys. Oh my god, it reminds me of Scott Pilgrim. Hey, we're crashing the boys. Is that girl a boy too? And then that girl ended up flipping him off. Shout out Wallace. He's such a slut. That's such a random topic, but honestly, he is such a slut. Bless him, though. Just like, we're crashing the boys. Is that girl a boy too? And then she flipped him off, and I'm like, yeah, nigga. She was like 12. Why is she here? She should not be in the club. What we were talking about earlier with Disney princesses that should have been in the club instead of dealing with all this shit. No, I'm so serious. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, they jumped her. They straight up stomped her out. It was lit. I love that scene so much. I love the boys. We should watch the boys together. Because like, I love that show so much. It is uncomfortable sometimes. People were trying to slander Wallace and said he was a pet. Where? Oh, I think I know why. And I still think that is fucking stupid why they said that. But I know why. Pretty much, you know how Scott is dating a 17-year-old schoolgirl, right? Wallace was making a jab at him by saying, do you know any boys at the school that I can hang out with? Like, I can't remember the exact line, but like, he was literally saying it mockingly. Like, my problem with the discourse with Scott Pilgrim is that, like, This is like the same discourse with Sokka being sexist, right? The whole point of Scott is that he is a fucking loser. Like, that's the point. Now, we can have an argument over whether or not somebody like him should be allowed to be out, because even though he didn't do anything to Knives, it's still the fact that you're a grown-ass man going after a teenage girl because you're too much of a loser to actually deal with grown women. And he's actually a really shitty boyfriend because of, like, those kinds of loser behaviors. So, like, whether or not he should even be allowed to live after all of that shit, that's a debate to have. But at the end of the day, the whole point is that he is a fucking loser. Like, I do hate the discourse when it comes to sanitized media, because I feel like it's not really about advocating for sanitized media. I think that people pick and choose, right? Because I feel like people pick and choose what they get mad about more so than actual advocacy for sanitized media. And sometimes it's not necessarily hypocrisy, just some people have different icks. Somebody could probably watch... No, it's okay. Some people have different icks, right? Some people could, like, handle some shit like has been, but they probably couldn't handle something like Scott Pilgrim, because the difference is that children are being harmed. Because technically, there is no technicality to it. Knives is being harmed. She's in an adult with a grown-ass man who's immature, but still too grown to be with her. And that he ends up cheating on her and all this other kind of shit. Like, she is having a hard time, and she ends up having, like, self-esteem issues and whatnot. So, yes, this is a child being harmed. And Has Been Hotel, from what I can tell, even with the BS going on, we don't see any kids going through anything yet. I pray. I'm like, Vizzy is already proven to be a terrible fucking person, but I wonder how far does it go? Sometimes. To be honest, even without the behind the scenes, I still would have been the way that I was, because, like, it's not just about the behind the scenes, it's about the actual content itself, right? Because I'm very particular with the way that certain things are depicted. And I feel like if you're going to have something like that, don't make a fucking joke about it. Don't make any merch about it. And also give a trigger warning. Like, those three things are literally the bare minimum. Even if she didn't invite a sex pest to be on her staff, because of the other things surrounding that entire scene, like, the whole thing is garbage. And also, I think that it's just low effort. You know, Satan is uwu soft boy, soft white boy, and God is big abusive sky daddy. Like, I've seen that shit too much. Like, I'm sorry, I grew up watching Lucifer by Neil Gaiman, and I've seen Greek versions of that depiction through Hades, because they always love to, like, infantilize Hades and turn him into a uwu soft emo boy. Like, I'm tired of that shit. I'm bored. Oh, she still would have had discourse because she doesn't have any black people in there. Like, that just would have been another problem. A lot of it definitely would have been gone, but it kind of, like, it all comes down to the lack of representation in the first place, and I feel like she just retroactively added it to act like she did something. I don't think that the discourse when it comes to racial depictions would have necessarily been gone, because she barely has any POC rep to begin with. Like, that's really where the scrutiny started. And then at the end of the day, she still has a Jewish character that does cannibalism, so there's also that. And she was, like, Jewish from the get-go. She wasn't even retroactive. It was just ass. That is a difficult conversation to have when it comes to like what's the fine line between making monstrous characters and making stereotypes. Cause like I once considered there has been discourse over like how much rep, because even though Charlie and Vaggie are like they're together and they're open, like they're not really depicted as say sexual beings compared to other characters, and it's more like just restricted to hand holding and stuff. They're not as affectionate compared to other characters, and it's not necessarily that they have to, but when they're like the only sapphic couple on screen, and given like how other couples like Moxie and Millie and every gay nigga on there, it's like there's a disparity, at least from what I know. And also naming Vaggie the lesbian character Vagina. Like that sounds like a 5th grade joke. I'm sorry. And it should have been like a one-off joke. But it's the whole show, and I'm like, But no, my thing is, if you want to make the devil into a sympathetic character, stop making him a white man, because in literally every culture, the devil is a white man. Why would we sympathize with him? Like, I do not care. And I don't care how queer you make him, he's still white. So it was a joke made by a VA, and then the rest of the staff, including Vizzy, liked it. It's still bad though, because even if it's not canon, it's like, it's so lame. Yeah, like I feel like every time, ever since, you know, the phrase that asexuals can have sex too, it's like people, the only asexuals they can depict are the ones that do have sex. And it's just like, no guys, there's still niggas who don't want to do the sex. And I'm like, this is what happens. Like, this is why I feel like sexual liberation is done wrong, because instead of being like these groups can have sex too, it's more like we should be advocating for getting rid of sexual power dynamics, because like all sexual liberation has literally been reduced to is women can have sex too and enjoy it, asexuals can have sex too and enjoy it and stuff, and it's just like, that's not really the root problem. Like, yes, these are important things to understand, but that's not the root, guys, because it does not matter if you're a sexual being or not if you're like owned by the state. It does not matter if women can have an orgasm under patriarchy, because patriarchy makes it where your pleasure does not fucking matter. Like, we need to be looking at power structures instead of being like women can be degenerates too, and it's just like, okay, I fucking knew that since middle school, ever since I found out what yaoi was, but like, what is that doing to free me from oppression? Like, the problem isn't that quote unquote could be dissed too, it's more like you shouldn't have to be sexy, and your sexiness shouldn't have to be for somebody else's benefit for it to matter, right? Because like a lot of people forget that like sexy standards are more often forced onto people and stuff. Like, I like sexy things, but I don't like sexual expectations. And that's why I kind of have like a mixed feelings with the bad bitch persona when it comes to stuff, because like black women are already painted as like big booty Jezebels, and even though we should be able to be sexual beings without being dehumanized, I also dislike the expectation of like us being sexual based on our blackness. So it's like, especially with hip hop, like to me, a female rapper being a sexy being, on one hand it's empowering because at least she's at the forefront and she's not treated as like a object video girl for another dude. But then I still think that there's a level of objectification towards it, considering how so many rappers, they don't own their royalties, so you're still dealing with exploitation by companies. There's also the fact that black women really aren't allowed to be depicted as other things. Like, yeah, people can bring up folks like Tierra Whack and Pink Pantheress and even Rico Nasty, but like that's not the standard. Black women are allowed a lot smaller range of expression compared to white women. White women can be soft or crazy and stuff and be accepted, but with us, if we're somewhere outside of the bad bitch persona, it takes a lot of marketing and stuff in order to get us out there, let alone for us to have longevity. Feels like a curse, because when everyone chooses to be asleep, it's taxing trying to correct and fight. Yes, which is why I'm at a point where it's just like, why don't we just kill people? Like, I'm tired of arguing. I just rather shoot you. We need to watch. Ooh, you know a movie that we should watch in Atlas's server? We should watch Wizards. We should watch Wizards. Wizards is this one, I think it came out in the 80s, and it's an animated film. Because I actually made a reference to it when we played Wizard with a Gun, like in the promo. Wizards is about this fantasy land, and there's this wizard named Avatar who has an evil brother. And what happened was the evil brother found these old tapes of propaganda, and he learned how to make technology. Okay, I'll sit up. And he learned how to make technology and stuff. And essentially, yeah, let me go ahead and save. And essentially he brought back fascism, right? Aw, thank you for the head pat. But his evil brother found propaganda tapes from Nazi Germany, and he learned how to bring back technology, and he brought fascism to the land. You want to know how Avatar dealt with it? Like, they were using magic all the way to get over there, right? But how Avatar put away the threat, he just shot him. He just shot his ass. This is why I say that people aren't angry enough. So it's already 11 o'clock because I underestimated the sketching phase. So I'm just going to finish the line work, and I'll continue to work on stuff tomorrow. Like, I'll color it, and I'll do the outfit sketches tomorrow because I still have some homework that I gotta finish. I'll probably be up until like 1 o'clock this morning. Are we still on for watching Manly tonight? You'll be out till 10 again. Okay, so you'll get... Okay. Gotcha. But no, we should definitely watch Wizards, because that's a cool movie and I haven't seen it. I just know the part where the big bad dies because Avatar decided to cast Gun. I tried to give you sharp claws on your feet, but I don't know how to do that in a way to make that aesthetic. Maybe by the time I actually fucking finish Thai, I'll GG. But not today. Or I'll try again tomorrow when my brain is more fresh, because it's late at night and I'm literally about to be on autopilot with this art assignment, because I already had like a simple template to work off of. I just gotta actually do it. It's definitely coming along well. I'm almost done with the line work. I just gotta do the tail and I'll be done for tonight. But what was I thinking? What was I thinking before that? Oh yeah, people aren't angry enough. I think that we need to be violent, but we need to be organized with the violence. Cause like, okay, it's one thing to do a riot, right? But like, if you're not targeting things that actually matter, like I support stuff like yes, get your pickup truck and tie a rope to a shitty statue that gives tribute to a slave owner and tear that shit down. Do that. Set fire to a police car in Minecraft. Do not set the bodega on fire, especially if there's still food in there. Loot it first. Actually, don't set the bodega on fire. That's not like a Walmart or something. And even then, like if you're setting stores on fire, loot it first in Minecraft. Like, don't be stupid. If you know you got a neighbor that needs insulin, at least take the insulin out before you set the building on fire, because people still have needs, right? Like, one of my biggest issues when it comes to yay. One of my biggest issues when it comes to like activism planning and stuff is how people don't consider disabled people when it comes to stuff. And this is why I put so much emphasis on what alternatives, and it's not just about like what else is available, but how do you plan to get resources to people with stuff. Like, please have accessibility at the forefront of your activism. Because holy shit, do disabled people, sick people, and people with small children get neglected in these movements, and it's kind of annoying. I'll get my taxes done eventually. Oh my god. Ads done. Gotcha. Yeah, I gotta get the rest of my taxes done. My 1084T does not come in until literally tomorrow. My W2 does not mail out until tomorrow. I'm pretty much getting my taxes done this weekend because, like, I need money. I just need to write down my expenses and stuff because, like, apparently I could get a tax write-off for a Lyft. And I'm like, yes. Because technically I do own a business. My mom got me a business license for my commissions and stuff. So when I eventually make more than $1,000 a year on my commissions, because like in my state, both with federal law and with state law, if you make a minimum of $1,000 a year from your side hustle, you have to file that. If you need help with doing a business license, ask my mom, because she's good at that kind of paperwork. You got her number right, so you'll be fine. Yeah. There's this one planner company called Clever Fox, and I use that to keep track of my expenses with personal expenses. I still suck at budgeting. Like, I pretty much I have a general budget, but I barely stick to it, so I always give myself like a $50 cushion just in case I go outside of it, because I suck with budgeting sometimes. I'm gonna get better though, but pretty much my basics, like my New Year's resolution, was keeping track of expensive, like how much I spend. And I got specifically a bi-weekly planner, because now I get paid every 2 weeks because of my new job, so yay. And also breaking it down into every 2 weeks instead of like an entire month, it just makes it easier to digest for me, and I have more immediate goals. So yeah, consider, I might, like when I actually start doing commissions on a regular basis, and when I eventually get the equipment that I need to open a shop, because I want to do prints. I want to do prints and bookmarks. I don't know if I want to do apparel. I don't know. Like, I like paper products like stickers and stuff. And even though I do outfit design, like maybe t-shirts. I feel like I could design a good t-shirt, because honestly a lot of anime merch fucking sucks in the t-shirt department. Like, I'm so tired of going to Hot Topic and sometimes Spencer's, where all they do is just copy and paste a screenshot from the anime and put that on a shirt and call it a day. And it's black. I'm tired of black t-shirts. I live in the South. It's hot as hell. And I know you're the goth store, but I feel like there's more than one way to depict death instead of just having black. Or the least you could do is make the fabric a lot more breathable so people won't be musty. Like, if Muslim women could wear a fucking burqa, and which is most of the time burqas are all black, right? And they cannot be musty because they have actual breathable fabrics and shit. Y'all need to be following their lead. Do something. Be halal with your outfit design. Because it's too hot for all that black and shit. And I don't like black like that. I like color. I like color, please. Like, pastel goth exists. I'm begging you. Yeah, I know. You're pretty much a Black Life mini golf place. You're practically a laser tag. You're pretty much a walking laser tag exhibit. It's not that I don't like black. I like black when it's cold outside, but when it's hot, hell no, the sun is out. I do not... I hate being sweaty. Especially being on the bus, where it's more guaranteed to be musty, because like I'm dealing with people who are either out all day because of their job or stuff, or they're out all day because they're waiting for the damn bus, because it takes a long time for the bus to come. And then there's also a lot of homeless people, so there's also that. And homeless people, they deserve to be on the bus, but damn, Like, I need to get rid of, I need homelessness to be gone. Homelessness should not exist. We should not have to work to have a place to stay. Not all the time. I'm surprised that I don't look like a fucking laser tag place, because I'm a damn jellyfish. I'm supposed to be bioluminescent. What the hell am I doing with my life? Like, homelessness should not exist. Because people are like, I'm tired of homeless people being out and about. And I'm like, well, maybe give them a place to go so they won't be out and about. Not to mention, not all homeless people are like a certain way. Most of these niggas got jobs. Most homeless people actually do wear deodorant because they got jobs. They just don't have a place to go. But the ones that don't use it. But then there are some folks who are homeless. They're just nasty. Because there's a difference between not having something and just being intentionally nasty. Like, holy shit. When I was in the Midwest for college, some of the girls be having damn Fabletics leggings on, yet they smell like yesterday. Don't get me started on that one bitch who shat in the shower. I hated her. Okay, I'm done with the line work. Actually, no. Let me clean this up. Okay, now I'm done with the line work. Ta-da! I'm gonna bring the boob in a little bit, though. There was a dude who left a whole liter of pee in one of the guys' door. Oh my god. We gotta kill him. Like, people like that don't deserve air. I'm sorry. So we're just like, that's mental illness. And I'm like, no, that's gamer behavior. Like, people are like, gamers are an oppressed class. And I'm like, yes, they should be. Like, I'm literally, you know how I made that joke about the read a book thing? I'm literally going to draw myself as, like, it's going to be in the shower. Speaking of my bitch ass neighbors, right? One of them had a fucking tarp. Like, okay, there's 2 bathrooms in each of the apartments. The 4-person apartments. There's like a full bathroom and there's like a sort of half bathroom where it's just a toilet and a stand-up shower. One person left the fucking tarp on the drain of the stand-up shower, and then they turned the water on without moving the damn tarp, and they kept the water on. So the water kept running and it ended up flooding into us below. I was gone that weekend, because if I was there, I would have been inventing slurs, because that's how much I can't stand my upstairs neighbors. Like, I hate them with a passion. Hey, there's like a lesson, a essay to be written about why white people, because I know they're white, about why white people deserve less. That's strange. See the problem that I'm having, right? When I select on the outside, I guess because there's some open areas with the leg first, I'll just use an enclose and fill. I'm doing a color fill, so when I do the but it's done for tonight. It's 11:15. Yep. I remember when I drew Basil's OC Naya and how I drew her toes, because like I didn't know, like even though she was wearing boots, I didn't know if he would want like another outfit for her at some point. So I just drew the toes in case. So I don't know. Yeah, the toes were white because I used that as a base. So are the nails. The nails are white. Because, like, if you want your nails painted, I have it white so that when I use a multiply layer, the color will show up on it. Like, I have it white and then I have a border effect on it. So I'll save. I'll work on the coloring tomorrow and I'll send you like screenshots so you know how like the fur gradient or whatever works. But like, believe in me. But we ended at a good part. I didn't get to do the color of the base thing because I got homework. We're gonna be working on homework as we watch Manly Badass Hero this evening. But I think this is a good time. So thank you guys for coming. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for listening to me ramble about stuff as usual. I'm very proud of how far we got with this PNG. I am so ready. But yeah. I love y'all. Stay up with the water. See ya. Also, did I save this? Okay, I saved it. Oh, you're making a moon egg. Ah. I'm sorry, I did not notice. I'm half asleep. I'm literally like, my mind is all over the place. Don't worry, you are a comedy genius. I just can't appreciate it right now because I'm EP. Just a rumble and poof model. Honestly, yeah, that would be so cool. Or a chibi of it. I should probably make a chibi version of you as well for like the Fujitech thing. Cause like, honestly, that was my first model. My first PNG model was a my first model was a chibi of myself. Cause it was easier and I was not confident in my skills of making a PNG, and also like I did not want to put that much effort into it because like I start things and I don't finish them. Like I'm probably going to have to expedite the Yang Xiaolong pictures because like, you know, Yang Xiaolong means little dragon because she's literally named Junior because her dad is like Golden Dragon or something. And Yang is literally Junior. I love it so much. I love Yang. Because Year of the Dragon and Lunar New Year is literally on the 14th next month. So y'all are going to see my Theonomy series. And one, I can't say white woman because Yang is half Chinese. And I'm going to respect that. Even though she's drawn like a white woman. We need better ethnic representation of Ruby, but it's probably too late. Yeah, so it's a double whammy. That happens sometimes. Because like Lunar New Year, it doesn't have an exact date. It could range from, wait, no, or is it on the 11th? I need to get the date right because I remember when I got the date wrong for other event and then I was having an existential fucking crisis. I need to remember things. When is Lunar New Year? Oh, it's on the 10th. Yeah, I gotta expedite this shit. I need to draw my Yang pictures. I need to hurry up and get finished with the Ruby redesign series. Because I've been doing this for like 2 years. I need to move forward and do more on YouTube. We're gonna pray. Especially Yang is the most difficult. That's part of why it's taken me so damn long. Because she uses colors that I don't draw with usually. So I'm going to be challenged. But I do have a somewhat clear idea of at least one of her outfits. So we're gonna pray. But I need to go. Y'all have a good evening. Stay above the water.
这个随时的线，在十分的散落，像你。